When you are heading to work, school, or even the grocery store, what is your main form of transportation? Many would answer and say their personal vehicle. But what would happen to those responses if we told millennials and young adults that they cannot drive to the age of 21? As a young adult that drives, I see a major issue in this. Driving has given me the ability to gain experience behind the wheel, work a stable job, and manage college. With research, I see the deathly and debt-filled effects that will alter the lives of young adults. If this law goes into effect, some may be beginner drivers as well as beginner drinkers. Some may lose opportunity working a job, resulting in higher unemployment rates. And some may need that experience at a young age without having so much responsibility to begin with. Today, I am going to persuade you to not want the driving age raised to 21. According to this proposed law, young adults that turn 21 will gain access to a license and alcohol at the same time. Although a serious offense, new drivers at the age 21 may be tempted with the idea of drinking legally and driving in their cars afterward for the first time. Inexperience under the influence of alcohol pose a greater threat of fatalities than a mature driver. As said by the Journal of Health Economics, when reviewing judicial records, at the age of 21, criminality and substance abuse increased by 50%. Even though the current rate of drunk driving is at an all-time high, this dynamic will increase the number of alcohol-related arrests and fatalities. A survey held by the Traffic Injury Protection Group revealed unbelievable information, stating that 49.5% of the 3,383 individuals ages 21 and older confessed that they had engaged in the use of alcohol behind the wheel or before getting in their vehicle. That is almost half of the drivers that you would pass if you were driving on an interstate highway for an hour. To help prevent situations involving the substance of alcohol in driving, individuals should consider bringing a designated driver or utilize the option of requesting an Uber or taxis. Having a license at a young age can provide the necessary mobility required for a job seeker and positively affect the economy with higher employment rates. Should this law go into effect, job opportunities would be limited for young adults due to the lack of transportation. A negative outcome from this will be a rise in unemployment. Although there are options such as Uber, buses, and metro stations, not every individual is in close proximity to where these services are offered. For a student or graduate, having the transportation to fulfill financial needs to support future decisions such as pursuing a higher education or purchasing a home is very important. According to the Baltimore Sun, in the year of 2018, teenagers from ages 14 to 21 were desperate to find jobs. In the Baltimore area alone, there were over 16,000 young individuals applying for a variety of positions. This massive influx of young people moving into the workforce has a positive effect on the economy and is a natural transition for the youth into adulthood. Instead of taking the privilege of driving from young adults, an alternative to consider would be taking accident avoidance classes at Summit Point Raceway. It consists of how to learn how to manage a car in snow, slippery road conditions, and other dangerous situations in a test car with an instructor present. The development of critical thinking and judgment behind the wheel strengthens with experience. Having the driving age as a majority for states be 16 has given students the ability to drive short distances and practice when going to school. If the age is raised, students will no longer be able to slowly grow their skills as a driver and may be unprepared when faced with aggressive drivers or long commutes. According to the Highway Loss Data Institute, the average percent ratio for the United States of teens to prime-age drivers on the road has increased to 67%. Experience behind the wheel at a young age is crucial to have because the youth occupies most of the road. It is necessary to have been taught life-saving and problem-solving skills, such as understanding braking and stopping distances, behavior choices, and avoidance of distractions. As written by the Behavior and Information Technology team, results created from a braking and collision simulation compared how experienced drivers exercise their behavior versus new drivers and found that with more experienced driving, adjusting to different scenarios was easier, while inexperienced drivers seem more accident-prone. Courses that are available to assist people in becoming better drivers are behind the wheel and autocross classes. Of those, behind the wheel is a required course, that is a week or shorter time period of driving lessons with an instructor, to where you will receive a paper license afterward. To ensure safety is a priority in these instructors' minds, behind the wheel should be longer than a week, with a mandatory log of hours required turned in prior to the course. This will help prevent crashes or fatalities with students, teens, and young adults and assist new drivers in obtaining the cognitive decisions they need to make before driving alone. Today, I persuaded you to not want the driving age raised to 21. The graduation into adulthood comes with the right to drive a vehicle. This privilege is necessary at a young age for the purpose of gaining experience behind the wheel, attaining independence through employment, and managing college prior to the allowance of drinking alcohol. Rather than stripping the youth of their rights, driving courses such as behind the wheel and accident avoidance programs should be required to take for at least 2 weeks to assist new drivers and carry individuals on to further success. Thank you.